Hello, I'm Katie Bavard, and welcome to a special edition of Podcast Salad. Over the next 2 weeks, we're going to count down the Podcast Salad Top 10 Favorite Video Podcasts. Podcast Salad has featured over 200 podcasts in the last year, and we thought it'd be fun to highlight the podcasts that our staff just can't get enough of. Before we start our countdown, here are some podcasts that didn't make the list, but at least one of us thought they should have.
I really like Bonnie at Noodle Scar because I never know what she's going to say, but she always makes me laugh.
Bonnie is like a performance artist.
I absolutely love Man and Wife TV because Shonda is so genuine and authentic and endearing, and they're just absolutely entertaining.
French Maid TV, hubba hubba.
There's really nothing I can say without getting into trouble.
What can you say? Bed jump in.
I like Bikini News because it's kind of sketch comedy in bikinis.
Katie Couric, I don't know. These girls should be replacing her. That would help the ratings.
As a sci-fi fan, I love watching Galacticast and see the spoofs they come up with, and usually is just right on and funny.
I watched the very last episode of Zay Frank, and I kind of teared up a little bit.
I miss Zay Frank. Who likes the little duckies in the pond? I do, a chicka quack quack.
Okay. Sorry to see him move out of vlogging. Bummed me out.
Those are all great shows, and picking just 10 was hard. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Our 10th favorite podcast is Chasing Windmills. Chasing Windmills is an online daily drama series.
I'm going. Come on, get in. Come on.
And Sailor Martin, take us out of here.
Fucking drive.
Let's go.
Chasing Windmills defines the genre of a drama podcast. I don't know anyone who even comes close.
Our number 9 pick is Goodnight Burbank. Goodnight Burbank shows us the showbiz behind the 11 o'clock news.
So, are you and John Travolta good friends?
Well, I'm really closer with his wife, Kelly, but they're both great folks.
Up your nose or with a rubber hose. Bet he doesn't hear that one too often.
It's kind of like if he took the real news and he kind of made it fictional, but more fictional than the actual real news is.
Number 8 on our list shows that podcasting isn't all about comedy. Alive in Baghdad takes a serious look at the everyday lives of people trying to survive in Baghdad.
Well, the interesting thing about Alive in Baghdad is, in my opinion, it's really grassroots journalism at its finest. It really gives you an opportunity to see into the daily lives of people over there in a way that you don't get in traditional media coverage.
Basically, it's eyes on the ground. It's something that we don't get in our news that's fed to us every night at 6 o'clock.
Our 7th favorite podcast is Tiki Bar TV. Tiki Bar TV gives us a new cocktail recipe in every episode, and so much more.
Is it breathing?
Is it dead?
It's dead.
Oh, now he's dead.
Tiki Bar TV is some of the most creative things. They're not afraid to go out on the edge and be strange, but at the same time bring it in for the cheap joke.
Cocktail time.
Tiki Bar. Now that's fresh and delicious.
Our 6th favorite and final podcast for this week's episode is Hockey Strike. Okay, these guys are Canadians, so Canadians are like funny, eh?
What's on next?
The latest in Pamela Anderson's continuing quest to have the largest number of titillating TV shows. This one's a game show. We have to guess her ever-changing bra size, and if you win, she'll give you a tattoo.
What's it called?
Tit for tat.
I mean, it's just like basically you and your best friend going and making a TV show and having a blast doing it.
For Canadians, they're okay.
Be sure to watch next week's episode of Podcast Salad to see our 5 favorites, including our surprise number 1 podcast. But before we go, we want to give a shout out to our favorite podcasts that are no more, including some podcast hosts that have moved on to other shows.
G'day, beautiful peoples, and welcome to another episode of Sci-Fi News.
And I have secret insider information that Lynn will be returning to video podcasting soon.
Amanda was always a bright ray of sunshine that came into your computer screen every day and told you that the future looked bright.
Karina here on Monday, May 14th, and let's start off with some mapping fun.
There was something about her that made it feel like she was your friend and she was just telling you about the things that she found online, and I really appreciated that authenticity and that genuineness with her. I will really miss Karina.
This is a sad song about leaving. This is the
Yeah, I really miss Zay Frank.
I was really endeared to him.
Zay Frank is still the best podcast ever, even though it's not on the air.
If you want to tell us about your favorite podcasts, would like to see your video podcast featured, or if you want to sponsor an episode of Podcast Salad, you can contact us by emailing katie@podcastsalad.com. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching Podcast Salad.